Right, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Waharakah Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Now, I want to read from the book of Romans, and it's quite interesting because these goofy Christians like to butcher Paul's writings to make it appear as if the teachings of Paul were inconsistent with the law and the prophets. That Paul was teaching a doctrine which was not in agreement with the established narrative of the law and the prophets, which nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, Paul referenced and alluded to the law and the prophets just a ridiculous amount. All right. Nevertheless, the Christianity attempts to teach a universal salvation doctrine, regardless to the fact that the law and the prophets on which the gospel is built upon, all right, the gospel is the law and the prophets, all right, is exclusive to the children of Israel, the seed of Israel. Salvation has always been exclusive. The goodwill and favor of the Lord has always been exclusive towards the Israelites. This is what is written and understood. And so even Paul here says in Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, for we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Now, let's go to 2 Ezra 7, all right? Now, this would be one of the writings Paul was speaking about, and we're going to get some understanding here, all right? Now, Ezra had been going backward and forward with a holy angel, a holy messenger of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now we know that the angels are furnished with the will and the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now Ezra was basically hurt because of the condition of Israel. But the angel kind of put him in his place and said, listen, man, this is how it's supposed to be, right? But guess what? The Israelites are going to be delivered. It's just not everyone's going to be delivered. That's why there's an elect. See, the elect has been a consistent narrative in the Bible too. The elect of Israel, that remnant, right? And he breaks down certain things. And one thing for sure, Esdras wasn't concerned with the other nations, and neither was the angel. But for some reason, these goofy Christians got it in their mind that the Lord cares about the seed of these other nations. No, the Lord cared about the Israelites who scattered among these nations. So let's read from verse 1. It says, when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights before. And he said unto me, up, Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. Right? Now remember, this angel is coming in the stead of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai with his word, his will. So let's listen up. And I said, speak on, my God. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Right? And the narrow represents these times of tribulation. All right? These times that Israel has had to go to in order to enter into the kingdom of heaven. All this path, all this what we've been through, the curses, everything has been set up that way. All right, the difficulty, the suffering, right, the patience of the saints. It was meant to be that way. All right. It says there is also another thing. A city is builded and is set up upon a broad field and is full of all good things. Right? The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, right? An inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, right? How shall he receive his inheritance? And I said, It is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion. You see, Israel is the inheritor of the kingdom. But our portion is that we must suffer through much tribulation, so shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. We had to go through, we had to fall, we had to suffer, we had to be subjected to hope and patience in order to receive that inheritance. Even Yahweh Shah himself had to suffer and go through a narrow place to enter into his kingdom. Did he not suffer? This is the portion of Israel. This isn't the portion of humanity. This isn't the portion of the world. This isn't the portion of aliens and the animals. And no, this is the portion of Israel. This whole thing has always been about our path towards inheritance. And the gospel is about the faith and the patience towards that inheritance, towards that kingdom. And it's Israel's portion. And it always has been. And Paul himself said the things written aforetime were written for our learning. What have you learned from this conversation that Esdras had with the angel? You learned that the path to the kingdom, the path to inheritance, is the portion of Israel. That's who it belongs to. That's why it is written in the book of Romans. Is it not written? Romans, the 9th chapter. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth, belongs, right? The adoption, the glory, and the covenants, all the covenants from Abraham unto the new covenant are with the seed of Israel, and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises. Right? You can't get around that. This is only about the seed of Israel. It's never been about mankind. That's a new narrative that has been spread by Christianity, by butchering and feigning the words which are found in the New Testament. Because Paul wasn't teaching no universal doctrine. Paul understood very well that salvation was only for the seed of Israel. But he also understood that the seed of Israel was scattered among all nations, and they were going to be brought back through the teaching of the word. The Gentiles that Paul was teaching, the Gentiles that came into the fold, were Israelites. And Paul understood this because he knew the writings. This was the mystery of the Gentiles. But these goofy Christians, man, they're going to push their lies. So if that, I'm going to say shalom.